I'm sure there were a lot of other critics who loved it. And I really hope you didn't take it personally. I think that bad reviews should just be forgotten. Give them a brownie. And I would like to give you this brownie. It comes in peace.
Hey guys, welcome to the channel where we will be watching and discussing all of the movies. Today's video, our first video, is a discussion about Under the Tuscan Sun. It was done in 2003 and stars Diane Lane as the lead role. So thank you for clicking and let's get into it.
Let's talk movies.
Let's talk movies.
Let's talk about movies. Let's talk about Under the Tuscan Sun.
Okay, so starting with the synopsis of the film, it's about a woman who finds out that her husband is cheating on her. And so, I know, right? What a jerk. And so after she has a heartbreaking divorce, her friend sends her off to Italy for a tour. And while on that tour, she ends up buying a villa in Tuscany. And the rest is just
rock and roll history.
I was going to say really beautiful. And
rock and roll history is beautiful.
200 degrees, just like call me Mr. Fahrenheit.
Yeah, so Under the Tuscan Sun.
Directed by Audrey Wells, and she did the screenplay for it as well. And it's based, actually, I found this out, which is really interesting, that it is based on a book, and the author of the book, Frances. She actually did go to Italy, to Tuscany, bought a villa, and renovated it and lived. And that was in 1996 is when she released that book. In 1998, she got married to her now husband.
I'm telling you, I knew there had to be, just with the name of the author and the name of the main character and with the characters as real as they are. There had to be some connection to real life. I love when authors do that. That's why I cannot finish a book, because I have no life experience to draw from.
I mean that's true. A lot of authors, good authors, have crap lives sometimes.
Sylvia Plath, come on, people.
Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting.
I got to read the book now because this is so out of my normal order of things. Normally when there is a movie that's made based on a book, I have to read the book first. It's like standard SOP. I cannot bring myself to watch a movie unless I've read the book first. But I didn't know that this one was a book until after I'd already seen it the first time. So.
All right. Well, let's get into why we like the movie.
Yeah, let's talk about this. Yeah.
Okay. So one of my favorite things is the dialogue. And now knowing that it is based on authentic, real people, it makes sense why the dialogue is so authentic. Some of the parts, and you've already mentioned this before, was can you star 69 Italy?
Hello. One of my favorite hello.
That's totally something we would have done.
Yeah, I'm going to bring that into my dialogue with somebody at some point.
I guess what goes into it also is the friendship between them is very real and relatable, kind of the whole when Marcello, I remembered his name. Marcello, whatever. Okay, you know what? Whatever his name is.
Marcello.
But anyway, so the friendship. So when she's wanting to go, the main character, when she's wanting to go see what's his face, and her best friend is there, she's like, I don't want to ruin I don't
want to get in the way of your love life. Yeah.
And she's like, you are my love life.
You are my love life. Yeah.
I feel like best friends who have been best friends for a long time have that feeling of the same relationship level as a significant other and your best friend.
Yeah.
They're the same.
Yeah, I agree completely.
So I think that they captured that
Yeah.
in like a really good way.
I think they captured a lot of things. Again, maybe it just lends itself to the fact that she was like the author of the book, Frances, that she was in Italy and kind of had this. I mean, I'm not going to say she had the exact same story because who knows, but the authenticity of Italy itself and the culture and like the people and just the way they talk and the way they interact with people, like it's so authentic. You feel like you're not missing out. Does that make sense? Like it
Yeah, no, it does.
It brings I think a movie is successful when it can bring the locations to life.
No, I absolutely agree. And that's one of the points that I wrote down while watching it. Because it was very like feel good and like, I don't know how to explain it, but it captured like the little mom and pop shops. It captured the gelato, the people there.
So you've got this movie that kind of is like a love story to Italy, right?
Right.
And then what happens when you go to Italy and if it's nothing like that? Like that would be so disappointing.
In a way, like to me, it would be if we went there, our first time there, like first timers in Italy, we would romanticize it.
Oh, for sure. I've romanticized it without ever going. But I think that's what happens when people like dream about going places. You always romanticize. That's part of getting your expectations up is romanticizing something. So
exactly.
I feel like the movie delivered on that.
Right, but still in a real way.
Yeah, completely authentic. Yeah, not like I can't think of any movies off the top of my head that make it like would romanticize a country or a location in a fake way. Yeah, that's an interesting thought for another time. If you know, leave a comment.
Right. But also kind of as a side to that, I thought that the film was kind of self-aware of its romanticizing, because there's that scene with what's his face and her on the beach, and he like looks into her eyes and is like, you have the most beautiful eyes, I would just like to swim in them or whatever.
Really good Italian accent, by the way. It's just like primo.
Anyways, sorry, I've probably offended everyone who's Italian. But anyways, I digress. In that scene, she responds to that by just
What?
No, it's just, that's exactly what American women think Italian men say. Yes.
which I think me in that moment would think that was funny, but really in any circumstance, which brings me to, I don't really like romance movies, but I liked this one because it wasn't really a romance, like love story. It was more a love story of relationships, not necessarily a significant other.
Before, well, I guess when we picked the movie, I was wondering how you were going to. That's why I texted you right after you said you watched it. I was like, well, like, what did you think? Like, I really want to know, because I was curious to see how you would react to it, because I've seen it. This would have been my 6th time, I think, seeing it. The first time I watched it, I was like 12. I was older than 12. Whatever. I watched it on one of those iPod, the big silver ones. Yeah. I don't remember where we were going. We're going on some road trip or some trip or something, and my mom loaded all these movies onto, well, all of these movies. There were like 3 because that's all that fit. But it was one of them, and so I watched it, and I got in trouble for watching it because it was very adult for me, according to my mom. So she drops the F-bomb, so like, oops, and so
Does she?
at the very beginning of the movie? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that.
When they hand her the plane ticket, and she's like,
My inner voice that would be saying, what the fuck am I doing on a gay tour of Tuscany?
or whatever.
Right.
That scripting in that scene sticks out to me because it's completely authentic. Like, as a woman who had just been dumped or whatever, you could totally imagine yourself being, well, great, now what?
Now, oh, speaking of another scene, of being dumped or whatever, is when she goes to what's his face, to surprise him,
Marcello.
Marcello.
and then
I can't say his name without popping my head up. I don't know what that's all about.
the Italian in you.
Marcello.
Marcello.
Anyway, so she goes and tries to surprise him, and she finds out that he's actually was just in bed with another girl, and that he wouldn't wait for her, and that sort of thing. And really, really like what he tells her.
And this sort of thing must come naturally.
I don't know how to explain it, but I really liked his explanation.
I can kind of understand where he was coming from, because I agree that coming together in a relationship, or I guess at the beginning of a relationship, being able to come together to actually spend time with each other, I guess that should be easy. But sometimes it's not, and sometimes that makes it worth it. So I don't really know if I 100% agree with it. But
yeah, I'm on that perspective of agreeing 95% with him.
Yeah.
I understand the little, outliers, but for majority, my belief is that the beginning part of a relationship should be smooth sailing, come together.
Yeah, and I guess from
rocky and whatnot.
From my perspective on that situation, I feel like we're dissecting this one piece so much, but on that situation, I feel like I kind of understand more where she's coming from than what he said, only because he couldn't wait.
Yeah,
you know
no,
what I mean?
and
If he really felt that way about her, and I understand he made the effort to come all the way out to Bramisole, and he tried to do all these things, and they couldn't make it happen, but I mean, if you really at least wait long enough to say, look, this isn't going to work, and then jump into bed with somebody else.
Right, but he's Italian. No, but no, I do agree with that. I don't think the circumstances, the fact that he couldn't wait was crap. I was like, ugh, what a jerk. Just get rid of him. But I did like his, the stars need to align. It needs to.
Yeah, I mean, there is some.
Movie is about, a sign. She doesn't get the house until.
Oh, yeah, what is the bird poops in her head?
Yeah.
What do they call it? Sign of God in Italian. I don't remember what it was. That's going to bug me.
I don't know. But it's
Insert clip of the movie.
Un segno di Dio. Un segno.
A sign.
the sign for that, the ladybugs.
Oh, yes.
That sign, just because, at the end, I thought it was kind of cheesy, but
it was total cheese. It was Parmesan.
I liked it.
Yeah.
But I liked it, where at the end, the guy that she's supposed to find finds a ladybug. I know.
I hate that name. I don't like it.
I'm mad.
I don't like that name for him.
I'm mad.
Yeah, it's just weird. Especially when she has such a fun name like Francis.
Francis.
Marcello.
Marcello.
And then she's like, oh, Ed.
Mad.
Ed. I kind of tangent Ed, but
Mad.
But anyway, so my whole point in bringing up that she went to go find him, and then her rejection, the rejection that she felt, and when she got home, she just was like, stupid, stupid, stupid. Her reaction is something that, I know I have felt, and I believe every other girl in the world has probably felt this way. I could feel it. It was so relatable. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like the whole movie was, though, so I think that was definitely something that they got right. Feel-good movies can be so heavy on the cheese. I mean,
Yeah.
like they and so much to the point where it takes away from how good the movie is. So
Right.
I think that this movie like walked that fine line, but was able to do it successfully, and to where it didn't feel like cheese. Like there were some parts where it was like, wow, that's cheesy. The green screen.
Yeah.
I didn't like that part. Too much cheese. It took away from that moment for me, because I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful. They're on this beach in Italy. Oh no, they're not. They're in a studio. It's a green screen. It's right behind me. I could film that here. Like
it took you out of the experience.
It completely broke, the fourth wall. It completely shattered it for me.
Right.
Not to say that it was shattered for the rest of the movie, because they quickly moved into the rest of that sequence happened so fast, and so it didn't like all the way to the part where she's like freaking out in her bedroom because she still got it, and like all of this stuff that all happened so fast. So it didn't break it for long, but it definitely took away from that moment, and that moment was one of the climaxes of the movie. So to me, that it fell short just in that aspect alone.
I feel like the screenplay and the acting and everything like that, like, made you feel like you weren't watching a movie, that it was like real life events happening.
Yeah.
And then that happened and you're just like, well, that's funny.
Yeah. And that had to be like a conscious, like premeditated choice. They made a concerted effort to do that green screen. You can't go film on location in Italy and then be like, oh, we're going to take one of the most important parts of the movie and shoot it in a studio. Like that doesn't happen on accident, unless maybe a reshoot. Total possibility, something screwed up in editing or I don't know, and they had to go reshoot that piece. But I still don't understand why they wouldn't have just left it as a backdrop instead of doing that whole like, ooh, it's nighttime.
Right. Yeah. No.
Kiss on history, longest kiss on record. Like that didn't make any sense to me. I did not like that part. And then like there were a couple interesting continuity things that I noticed in the movie, and like I mentioned one earlier, but with the ice cream, when she was talking to Catherine, how that stayed pretty rock steady. They did a really good job, and switching back and forth from her point of vision to Catherine's like 3 or 4 times, and the ice cream didn't really change that much, which is very difficult to do because it was real ice cream. You could see that it was real. But then there was this other part at the beginning of the movie. Frances is just moving into the apartment, the divorce, like we got a doctor and we got a this and we got a that apartment. And she walks by the desk and there's a McDonald's cup on the desk. And I was like,
I didn't notice that.
What? Well, because I'm trying to think, like, is it supposed to be like a place that no one, or like someone's lived there first and then she's coming in like a extended stay motel, or did like one of the crew just leave their lunch like hanging out? But there's like one of those, hot coffee McDonald's cup. It's at 8:31. Everyone go look at it. 8:31 in the movie. 8 minutes and 31 seconds. I marked it because I was like, what is happening right now? And anyone who is watching this who made Under the Tuscan Sun, because everyone in Hollywood wants to know what we think. Why was the cup there?
Why?
What? What was the cup doing there?
Why?
What?
One.
Oh, yeah.
One.
It's quite a lovely movie. One that you could watch. I mean, I could watch it again. Yeah, sure. And like enjoy it. I would probably recommend this to other people, especially like my sisters or my mom. I think they'd enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably definitely like textbook definition chick flick. I don't think that guys are really gonna like get into it as much as women do, especially because it's got this like undertone of like women's like self-power thing going on.
Yeah.
But it's a good date movie. It's a warm movie. Makes you feel good. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not chick flicky. Like, it's not.
Yeah, I think it's total chick flick. I think it's a total chick flick, but it's
there's chick flick elements, but it's not one of those like turn you off super chick flicky, because I don't like those.
See, I like chick flicks.
Yeah, well, I don't, and I liked this, so it's not as chick flicky as maybe it was supposed to be. So.
Got it. I like. All right. But yeah, it's I mean, there's stuff that like calling out in this movie that I think is important, because like they took some, just I mean, hopping back to how real everything was, they took such a cliche opening sequence, like, oh my goodness, oh, this party, and oh, she's great and everyone loves her and she's the center of attention and she makes great brownies.
These are amazing. What did you do to them?
Where is the wine? I am so thirsty.
Tom is one lucky bastard, a literary wife who makes brownies.
Thank you.
I swear, if you tell me you're cooking a nude, I'll go home and kill myself.
And then, oh, here comes antagonist number one.
Tom, how's his book going?
And you hate him immediately.
Just find that ironic. Ask your husband.
The fact that they pulled it off with some semblance of like reality was pretty cool, because that you could start any chick flick or any romantic comedy off with protagonist enters, protagonist is beloved, protagonist is approached by antagonist number one tells something about protagonist's life that protagonist didn't know, and here's the movie. Right.
Yeah, no, I feel like it was a good attention grabber for those people who, of like the 2000s, that's how movies were.
Yeah, I mean, it followed a formula, but they still did it really well, because I'm only sitting here thinking like, oh, wow, yeah, they followed the formula, because I was analyzing it. But every time I'd watched the movie before, whenever I saw that part, I was like, man, this guy's a douche. Like, you're going to come up to this poor woman at a party that she's probably like hosting or something and tell her like, just ask your husband. Butthead.
I know.
So I immediately didn't like that guy. And, something that I do want to note, because I noted it earlier and it's getting into this video, is the fact that with the cinematography and the editing in this film, the first chunk of the sequence that I'm talking about that is like setting up the story, I'm positive that it was filmed with either a filter or something different was done to it, because the color is more vibrant in that group of scenes than the rest of the movie all the way through to the end. And I think that it was an artistic choice to show where she was in her life at the beginning of the movie, when she thought that everything was great and it was, vibrant and life was full, and then immediately, as soon as she gets into the lawyer's office, everything's drained of color, and the only thing that's really got any color is her nose. Like, it's bright red. And so I think that that's important to know. Grey's Anatomy shout out. Because
all of those people
from Shondaland, I thought that was entertaining, and I had never noticed that before. And also Sandra Oh was in the Princess Diaries. This is Gup Gup.
Really?
Yeah, the Queen is coming to Grove High School.
Oh my word!
Yeah, favorite scene in the Princess Diaries. This is Gup Gup. The Queen is coming. But
yeah. Oh man,
she's in a ton of stuff. Sandra Oh is like amazing, because she's in a ton of stuff.
So that's pretty much all my notes. The last thing that I really want to say is that the director, Audrey Wells, actually died this year, just a couple of months ago, October 4th, I believe. And so I looked it up because I wanted to see what else she did. So on IMDb, it said that she did the screenplay for George of the Jungle in 1997, Shall We Dance with Richard Gere in 2004, A Dog's Purpose in 2017, and just recently just came out The Hate You Give 2018.
Really good buzz.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like an interesting. I have not seen A Dog's Purpose. I'm afraid to watch it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like people can die in movies and do sad things, and I won't cry. But as soon as something happens,
not the dog.
As soon as something happens to a dog, I'm like a blubbering fool. The things that hit me the most were just how authentic it was, how the feels. I was just with the feels, like the Italian families. They remind me of my family. It was just, especially the grandmother. Oh man, that made me miss my grandmother so much. They literally looked nothing alike, except for the fact that like she was just this little old Italian woman, and it was just that tugged on my heartstrings a little bit. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a good movie. Everybody should go see it.
Go see it.
Yeah, go see it. Last
you can't
thing.
go see it because it's was out in 2003. Get a time machine.
No, you can go see it. You can
go to a friend's house, take your laptop, go to the park or the beach or a green screen, and that you can pretend is a beach and then change the time really fast.
One last thing, and it's one of the things that is most important about this film. And say it with me, Erinn. How did she
freaking move to Italy on the drop of a dime?
I don't get it. Like, I understand maybe moving on a drop of a dime.
But not even just her. Not even just her. Because Sandra Oh's character is just like, oh, I could do that.
Yeah.
I'm pregnant.
I'll just move. Alone. Yeah. Have my baby in Italy.
Also, I really want to know, because now that I'm thinking about it, why did her doctor let her fly that long, pregnant as she was? Can you? I don't think you could fly in a trimester.
She did tell Frances, she was like, and I didn't call you because I know that you would have not let me fly this pregnant. So she doesn't care. Like, she doesn't care about her best friend.
Okay, I missed that part completely.
I would have told you I was coming, but you would have talked me out of flying.
But yes, she was very prego. Yeah. But at least they called attention to it. I missed that.
Yeah.
I missed that. I'm glad that they called attention to it, because that would have been
Yeah, really weird. So, okay, well, ta-da.
First one in the books.
Wrap.
Boom. It's a wrap. Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Cue the outro.
So I kind of just wanted to explain real quick how we give our ratings. So it's pretty much an A, B, C, D, or F rating, but we put our own little twist onto it. Instead of tomatoes or stars, they're going to be bags of popcorn. So no bags of popcorn is an F movie, F rating. And then going from D to A, it's small, medium, large, and an A movie will be the collectible, like hard, refillable basket. Right? Right. Okay, so for Under the Tuscan Sun, I guess I would give this movie a B rating. So, a large bag of popcorn. Because I could sit through this movie as happy as possible and eat a large bag of popcorn. Again, thanks for watching, and here's Erinn's rating.
Wanted to give my official rating on the movie, and I'm going to give it a large bag of popcorn with butter. Thought it was a great movie, really great storyline, and yeah, I think it deserves all the fixins when you go see it. So rent it, Redbox it, Amazon Prime it. It's on HBO. Go watch it on your cable or whatever you've got. Hashtag no cable, YouTube channels, whatever. Just go watch it. It's a good movie. It's a feel-good movie, and you'll enjoy it. So if you are looking forward to seeing other movies, or think we got this review dead wrong, then leave a comment down below. Definitely hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon for notifications of when we upload. We're going to be uploading reviews every week of all of the movies. Not just new ones, not just one genre, but all of the movies. Our next movie is going to be uploaded next week. It's The Big Lebowski, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this movie. I watched it one time in high school as a freshman, and so I'm looking forward to seeing it again with some wiser years. I don't know. It should be interesting. I remember liking it then, so hopefully I have the same feelings on it. This is Emily's first time watching The Big Lebowski. It was her first time watching Under the Tuscan Sun too, so we're hitting all the movies that she's never seen before. So hopefully we'll get to some that I haven't seen. Might take a little while.
Yeah. There, see?
That was very Dragon Ball Z of you. Comic. Andres is going to be so excited that that's in the video if it makes it.
It should be the bloopers. Prego.
I was so prego. I mean, that's not no. You can't say prego in Italian. Talking about an Italian movie. It's not,
I know. It's like a conundrum. It's a pun.
it's a conundrum. It's a pun.
Prego. Okay.
Prego. I thought you were gonna make us high five each other. That's what I was.
Dude. Okay.
Alright. Oh wait, hold on, I gotta back up.
Ready? 2, 3, yeah. Go. Woo.
And you hate him immediately because he looks like everything in my office just got dark. I'm Maverick.
Ooh, speaking of movies, this is Maverick. He is named after Tom Cruise's character in Top Gun.
My dog is not named after a character in a movie. She's named after Beyonce.
And Beyonce is in movies.
Look at my puppy. With her little ears. What do you think, Sash? Can you say hi to YouTube? Sash, what are you doing? Alright,